All right, we are back with you again, and if you are watching us out there, you're definitely catching up, with another very interesting episode of Crossfire. Now, this is Cool TV. Now, today, we definitely will be taking you through a couple of very interesting stories. But then, you can notice that there has not been so much excitement in the air, and that has to do with what happened in Kogi State early in the morning on Sunday, where APC actually lost the candidate for the elections, and that is in the person of Mr. Abubakar Haudu. Now, everything happened yesterday in Kogi State amidst tears when the man was actually buried in his hometown. Now, everything is pointing to the fact that what exactly happened next, knowing fully well that there's no constitutional backing or any provision in the electoral law that will make INEC to be able to go further than where the elections ended. Because on Sunday, INEC declared that the election is inconclusive, and therefore some supplementary elections will definitely be conducted. Now, I'm not alone here. I have Ishoma Gaine with me in the studio. Ishoma, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dap. I'm good. Good morning, Andrew, and welcome to Crossfire.
All right. Now, we have quick business to do this morning. We have a couple of stories that we definitely will be sharing with you, and then we'll be throwing a few analysis on some of them. And definitely, you and I know that Kogi State is really, really, really not in a very good state right now. So we commiserate and with the people of Kogi State on the loss of a very dear son, trusted, and someone who have been there for them. And people probably are planning to have him back as their number one candidate or number one person in Kogi State in the person of Abubakar Haudu. But the unfortunate situation that happened, and the man died, he's been buried, and we wish him a very safe passage, even into the world beyond. And we pray that, the Lord will give him eternal rest. So we want to say Abubakar Haudu, rest in perfect peace. And then we send our regards, our very, very big regards and condolence to the family of Abubakar Haudu. And we wish you that you will that you will gather strength to be able to bear, the irreparable loss of your father, your friend, your cousin, your uncle, your husband, and all of that. Now, Ishoma, it's really very, sad that Kogi State is in the state in which they are right now. And I just wonder what exactly will be going in, through the minds of the people.
Well, of course, the people have suffered, a great blow. However, it's for the people to also gather the strength and ensure that all the legacies the man left behind, the later Abubakar Haudu, all the legacies he left behind, let them be able to carry on. And whoever it is they'll be voting for, let it be a true reflection of the ideologies which the late Abubakar had. That's it. Yeah,
as a matter of fact, I'm very sure both Kogi State, the family, the political party APC, and when we talk about family, let's put the friends, business partners, and all of them together, and then the party. The party actually, went through a primaries, and eventually, Abubakar emerged as the candidate representing them in the last poll, which took place on Saturday. But the truth today is that the party has not even made statements. Not so much statements have been made by the party. As at this morning, INEC came out really very strong to say APC has not said anything to us. They've not made any statement. They've not written any letter telling them, okay, going forward, this is what is going to be done. And that is to say that what happened is leaving the entire nation in a very, very bad situation.
I don't think the APC should make a statement first as regards what it plans to do. I think the APC as a political party is waiting for the Supreme Court to make a pronouncement. So that can also form whatever step the party in Kogi State will want to.
No, but if nobody is saying anything, don't forget that we cannot rely on just what the Supreme Court may say. We have an electoral law that should guide INEC to do whatever that they need to do in case something like this happens.
Unfortunately, the Constitution is silent on that.
Exactly.
And the Electoral Act is silent on that. And then INEC came out strong to say that today they'll be gathering a team of lawyers so they can see
to help
if,
them
yes,
look
to
at
help
the electoral law.
if there's anything, any solution they can find from the Constitution. But then we've had other lawyers, other seasoned lawyers in the country come out to say that they have looked, all through the pages of the Constitution, and there is nothing that there's no workable solution that the Constitution has provided. So all that needs to be done is, well, let the lawyers, which INEC will be gathering today, let them sit and let them agree on what they can do. And then maybe they can write, a letter unanimously to the Attorney General of the Federation, asking that he, take, a bold step to the Supreme Court, for the Supreme Court to make a pronouncement. And when that is done, then that will guide both INEC and the APC on what steps should be taken next.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, I mean, one very major thing to look at, Ishoma, is the fact that since we don't have a constitutional position on matters like this, and the electoral law is not even, put together to probably address issues of this nature. Now, the concern that I have is that, see, we have 22 parties listed, who took place in the last elections, even though predominantly we're talking about just PDP and APC now, because we have an incumbent in PDP as the governor of Kogi State. Now, the person who probably is planning by the fact of the election and by, amount of information we have in the public domain, Audu Abubakar would have unseated, would have succeeded in unseating, the correct, Wada. Yeah. Yes. Now, the concern that I have is that if INEC has taken a position declaring this election as inconclusive, it is there are so many fallouts of this position. Number one fallout is the fact that, one, APC is leading at the moment, even though supplementary elections will be conducted. Now, if today the election process is not enacted, that it should take place so that they can have a final position in terms of vote counts and all of that, and who eventually won. That's one position. INEC may not want to do a supplementary election any longer, knowing fully well that their representation, that's APC representation during the election, is no more. Now, if you look at it from the angle of APC and PDP, don't forget that what we vote for when we go out to vote is at the political party. Even though APC was voted for, even though the candidature, which the representation of APC was late Abubakar Audu. So what I'm saying in essence is that if you look at it really very closely and we apply the principle of common sense, you would say that let the election process, the electioneering process that is ongoing, let it go ahead. Let INEC eventually conduct a supplementary election. Let it be counted and added to the current result, and let a political party eventually be declared as the winner of the elections. And then APC can go within their caucus and then eventually say, this is the man that will eventually represent us, as the governor of the state.
But the truth is, if you look at this logically, the APC, they need not come out to say whether, they need not 100% come out to say whether, Mr. Olalekan, rather, that is the running mate, Faleke, that Mr. Faleke should step into the shoes of late Abubakar Audu and take over. Because if you look at the INEC guidelines, he was duly registered also as the running mate. Mr. Faleke was registered as the running mate to who? The late Abubakar Audu.
Yes.
And as a running mate, he was being conferred with the status of, let me put it in quote, a spare tire. That is, if anything, should anything happen to the late Abubakar Audu, then he will step in, he will fill in the shoes. And that is exactly what is happening right now.
No, it's totally different.
No, it's not different.
Let me tell you what I read something.
Let me ask what if the elections had come and gone successfully?
Yes.
What if he was already declared winner before being sworn in and this happened? Are you saying now that a fresh election should have been conducted?
I am saying this is the only provision that we have. This is the classical case. All that we have in the electoral law and the Nigerian constitution only champions or defend or speak for or against a situation in which an election has been conducted and concluded and a winner has been declared and eventually probably been sworn into office, and then the death of the main man, maybe like Abubakar Audu dying after he's been sworn in, as the governor of Kogi State. Now, the provision is that the deputy may step in. Now, the deputy step in.
The deputy should step in.
Exactly. May step in. That is what is written there. May step in. Now, but the concern is this. The running mate at the moment is not a deputy. It is one ticket that contains two names, 1 and 2. Now, the point here...
And those two individuals are representing the political party.
Exactly.
Now, the both of them were actually going out to campaign. Even though, yes, Abubakar, the late Abubakar Audu was the face of the APC, but it was a running ticket.
That's what I'm
both of
saying.
them were doing everything they can to canvass support, not just for themselves, but for the political party called the APC. So on the day of the election, what was printed on the ballot paper was not the late Abubakar Audu's face or picture, or his name rather. What was posted there was the symbol, the logo of the APC.
Now,
and do you know this can actually work in favor of the APC? That is following the death of the late Abubakar Audu, because the people can say, okay, this man came out, we saw what he did, he stood for this legacy, he stood for this ideology. The APC as a party has come out to say that they will do this, they will do this. Of course, maybe unforeseen circumstances, he's no longer, he's no longer with them to fulfill his promises, to them. But the people can still say that, okay, to honor this man, let us give this to the APC, so that the APC too can continue as a political party with the same ideologies he had as an individual. Let them continue with what they started.
This is my concern. Now, Abiodun Faleke is a running mate. The position of a running mate is a selective position. Meanwhile, the position of the main man, like Abubakar Audu, is actually an elective position because the party actually went through a level of primaries for him to emerge as their candidate, representing them in the last poll. Now, the point here is that you are simply saying APC have a lot of things to do, some homework to do. One, are you ready to make your running mate to step up while he represents your party going forward and select another running mate for him? Or you want to go back in to look for somebody who probably, because don't forget, Faleke is a Yoruba person in Kogi State, Yoruba-speaking part of Kogi State. Meanwhile, Abubakar Audu, hold on.
I don't think we should play the card of language.
I tell you really very strongly that all of these things,
we shouldn't.
Eventually it adds up to who eventually will become the governor of that state. You will just mark my words. These are just things that I'm thinking about because I would have expected that this shouldn't be a controversy. APC between Sunday and now should have met, even if it is just the inner caucus, and say, all right, automatically, this should not call for a lot of argument or discussion. They should just say, Faleke should step up.
The APC as a political party, of course, they've had their internal meetings and all of that. Yeah. They've done their own homework. But you do not expect them to come out point blank to say, okay, this is this, this is that.
Why?
Until the Supreme Court makes a pronouncement. It's wisdom. This is political wisdom here.
I disagree with you.
Political wisdom is waiting in a situation like this.
Political processes, I know. There's no political wisdom anywhere.
There is political wisdom all over the world. All over the world.
What is political wisdom?
Political wisdom here now is let the APC have their internal meetings and let them wait for the Supreme Court to speak. Since the Electoral Act is silent, since the Nigerian Constitution, which is supreme to all, is silent on this matter, let the Supreme Court speak first. It's political wisdom. Because what if the APC as a political party comes out now hurriedly to say that, okay, let Mr. Faleke step in. And now the Constitution comes out to say, and the Supreme Court comes out to say, okay, no, let fresh elections take place.
Let me tell you something. What will inform?
It doesn't make any sense for the APC to rush out now to speak.
Your statement, political wisdom? What informs it? Aside from the fact that it's a judicial body, what informs it to be able to now come out, wading into this matter, and take a decision that probably may not favor all the parties that are involved, not even the two predominant parties, APC and PDP. So what I'm saying in essence is that I believe very strongly that if there's anything that needs to be done today, and the Supreme Court is being brought in, to be part of that decision, or to head whatever body, or to head whatever body that will take the point here is that this is an incident that has never happened in the history of our democracy.
And then precedents will be set by the pronouncement of the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Now that is the more reason why you would have expected you would have expected concerned political parties or a body of registered political parties to come under an umbrella and decide going forward. You cannot take a decision, any decision the Supreme Court takes today on this matter, and it favors either PDP or APC, or in one way or the other, it does not favor the other people. It is not any political wisdom. It will eventually be seen.
Let's look at things as it should be done.
Okay.
As it is right now, INEC, which is the electoral body, the whole issue here falls principally on INEC and the Supreme Court. And because these two bodies have authorities and power to make pronouncements and declarations on this issue, they are the ones who should speak first. The political party, it's their duty to follow and comply with whatever directive the Supreme Court or INEC comes out with. It's not for them to begin to make political statements because the people of Nigeria want to hear something, because there is every tendency that if they go ahead now hurriedly and make a political statement, they may be making that statement in error, and that error may be more grievous and more calamitous to the country. So let the Supreme Court speak. It doesn't take anything away from our judicial process for us to wait for the judiciary to speak first. It doesn't.
And that's why I'm saying that.
And that is how good governance should be. Good governance is about waiting for the rule of law to take its course. So let the Supreme Court speak. Until the Supreme Court speaks, I don't think it's wise for the APC to come out to begin to field whatever candidate it is they have.
You see, my concern, before we go on a break, is very simple. If you cancel this election and you do another election, and eventually it favors the PDP more than the APC, they will tell you we won the elections anyway in the first place. You would have done a supplementary election which would have complemented our position as winning the last election already. And that would eventually generate a lot of things in the polity. And that is,
the Supreme Court speak.
It will eventually generate...
Whatever decision the Supreme Court, declaration the Supreme Court brings up will be precedent and to be binding. The only person you can appeal to is God. Because that is the highest judicial body in Nigeria. Okay. And the APC would not have any choice that to go with it.
I doubt it. I doubt it. But let's go on a short breakdown. When we come back, we'll go into some other stories, and then we will just throw some more light on our discussion. We'll be right back.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.